So I'm on the BJJ Fanatics website, and I see 3 new videos by some guy named Thomas Radzinski. You familiar with that guy at all?
Nope, absolutely not.
No? Well, he's got some good stuff. Three brand new videos. They're getting amazing reviews, which is good to see as well. But you got to tell us about them real quick?
Yeah, I had, you guys already know, but I had opportunity to go to Boston, shoot 3 more instructionals, 1 on butterfly hook, complete guide for butterfly hook, 2 wrap, lapel, and submit them, and 3 we have taking the back. It's particularly designed for guys for over 40 because there's no climbing involved. All the back takes are on the ground. Very, very full and effective system. So dip into it. I'm really hoping that this is going to help your jiu-jitsu and really take it to the next level.
BJJfanatics.com. Just search ROZDZ. We have all had that situation where after class is when we want to ask a question. And Thomas, a lot of those questions you've already answered, right, at Ask a Black Belt.
Yeah, it's another podcast that I'm running. It's on podcast, all podcast platforms, plus on YouTube. You can find it anywhere. Just search for my name. Search for Ask a Black Belt. At this point, over 100 episodes, different questions, jiu-jitsu, life-related, but something that everybody comes across, and often these questions sink in our mind, but we don't ask for whatever reason. So if that benefits you, go there, listen. It actually might help your jiu-jitsu, might help your life as well. And if you have any questions, find me on Instagram and drop me a line. I'll be happy to answer your question and mention your name during the episode.
Welcome to Raw Radio.
And we are live.
Here we go.
What a character.
What a life.
What a life.
Yeah.
Talk about fearless.
To an extent. I mean, he opted out of some things because of fear, but went into something, I think that fear is different for everybody, right? Circumstances are different for everybody. So here's a guy that had an opportunity that probably a lot of people would have
Shut down?
No, a lot of people would have given given up a lot for, would have wished to have had, and he joined the army instead of taking that opportunity, and it was out of fear. And but as I think he grew from it, and now he's living more of a fearless life. But my biggest takeaway was fear of failure. I think we all have it at some point. I think it prevents people from happiness. It prevents people from doing things, trying things. I always think.
So why do we fear things?
Well, because we're afraid we're going to fail. And what's that going to do? And what are people going to think? And how am I going to look? What am I going to think of myself if I fail? And then you end up 20 years down the road with a bunch of regrets of all these things that you didn't try, you didn't do, and a lot of people lead an unfulfilled life because of it.
I was reading a studies, it was I think 6 weeks ago, that essentially, generalized people, but those who take risks are more likely to succeed. Whatever that means, just general thoughts. Those who are more hesitant, those are the ones who experience lower success in general.
Mm-hmm. Well, there's no reward, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, you can coast, right? You can play safe.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't mean that you won't succeed, but just the odds are lower that you will succeed. You think there is something to that?
Yeah, I think that you're preventing yourself from achieving things. You'll always regret the things you didn't do. If you don't take chances, you don't take risks. What what happens? Nothing, really. You just, like you said, coast. You just keep moving at a glacier pace. There's no spikes. There's no, in life, there's no.
Well, so if we know that, why the hell are we not taking risks?
The older I get, the more I realize that negative feelings, negative emotions, any negativity seems to always win out. And I don't know if it's something primal that we need to be safe.
Yeah,
right?
like this defense mechanism.
Yeah, so
natural.
yeah,
survival.
So, right. If I venture too far away from the home, is something going to eat me, or is someone going to kill me? Has that
Eat you for sure?
Right? Has that moved into? And now I'm not going to do things that might embarrass me, or maybe get slightly injured, or I'm I'm 53 now. The amount of people that say to me on a regular basis, "Aren't you too old for that?" And it's like, no. What's the worst that could happen? I mean,
wow, you could be dead. I mean,
I'm not going to die. I wear a helmet. I mean, but and the same people who say this to me, it doesn't happen around here at the academy because people are doing jujitsu and stuff. But the people who say that stuff to me will go and they eat an awful diet. They drink, and not that I'm anybody to preach, but it's like, well, yeah, okay, I might fall off this skateboard and I might break my arm, but all you're doing is going home from work.
You're poisoning yourself every day.
Yeah, you're killing yourself slowly. I might do it quickly. But at least I had fun. I'm looking at a place to go take skate lessons with my kid at 53 rather than, going, like I said, going home after work and just sitting.
Well, you're 100% right. First of all, people are way too quick to judge.
What's the
on
date?
This whole
What's
thing?
Today's date? You just said I'm 100% right. You got to write it down. What's
it's
today?
February 13th, 2024.
What time is it? 3:05.
Mark it down.
Mm-hmm.
That clip is going into archive. But you're right. Like, people are so quick to judge others, but they don't look at themselves. They don't look at the mirror, what they are doing, and they actually might be doing the exactly same thing. But also, what's interesting here is that you bring up a little bit more drastic events, like you're gonna hurt yourself. I see how that can be a point of hesitance. I think we also stop ourselves from things that are very simple in life, like I don't know, like we're doing this podcast. Like, I remember when we were starting this, and I talked to several people, and some people said, "I want to do that podcast too. I want to do podcasts. I was thinking about doing podcasts, blah blah blah." And for some reason, they didn't do it. But we're still here. I don't,
For better or for worse.
For better or worse, right? We're still here. We're still talking to people. But I think as terrifying the idea of even getting on air and being documented on worldwide internet and putting ourselves, at least for me, I can't speak for you, but it was terrifying. Like, what if I say something stupid? What if this is embarrassing? What if
we do it every podcast? We say something stupid.
Well, but that's my point. And look how many great things came out of these conversations. I mean, at this point, 184 guests. I mean, holy shit!
Look at what I'm wearing, right? Relationships that we've.
I know. I mean, how many great friendships we've made, and how many stories. How much smarter we are because of the stories we've heard through these conversations, and it all could have been stopped. We wouldn't have stopped. Wouldn't even start.
Yeah.
If one of us, chickened out. I mean, I'm pretty confident. If you didn't say yes, I wouldn't do it by myself.
I think you would have found somebody else.
I don't think so. I honestly, I don't think so. That's the point. That's the point. That's.
But yeah, I mean.
So, like, when we talk about these drastic things, that's one part of conversation. But I think oftentimes, it's something simple. Like, want to spend more time with family, or I want to go on vacation, or I don't know, I want to unplug, or like, and there's this fear of things not working out, and we never do it. We just never get it done.
Yeah, if I, who's going to do it if I don't, like, when it comes to work, right? If I'm not doing it, it's not going to get done, and so I'm not going to spend time with my family or go on that vacation. Or it's something as simple as, how often do we hear
Mhm.
People talk about, oh, I'm too old to,
Oh my
to
God.
start, to learn an
How many-
instrument even. It's like, yeah, it's good. You know what? You're not as, your dexterity isn't what it used to be. As you get older, it's harder to learn new things. But so what? So what? Don't, you want to pick up a guitar, pick it up.
Pick it up and play.
Yeah, and have fun with it. You want to write a screenplay? Sit down and write it. You know.
Yep. You want to get a skateboard? Get a helmet.
I didn't get my helmet when I first got the skateboard. I got it a couple weeks
You
after.
knew how to brake fall.
Well, let's just say it was.
You knew how to brake fall.
Yeah, October. It is now February, as we already stated. There's something floating around in my elbow. But so what? So what? I mean, my shoulder hurts from something different. In striking class last night, my knees hurt today. So what? So what?
Good for you. I gotta tell you.
Well, no, it's not like good for me. But so what I'm trying to say with it is just don't be afraid. Who cares? Don't be afraid to walk through the door of a yoga studio. Yeah. How many times do we hear, my husband, my wife, they want to do jiu-jitsu too, but they want to get in shape first.
Oh my God.
We get in shape here.
I said this a million times. I've never met a person who got in shape first and then started jiu-jitsu.
Right.
And we've met thousands who started jiu-jitsu and got in shape.
Right.
Like,
yeah,
beating at that horse. But you are so right on all of this. It's like, how many, and like even talking about the skateboarding part for you, like, look how your relationship with your kids has changed because of that, or with your son, right? I mean, your elbow might hurt right now, but there's the other side of all of this. Like, there's this irreplaceable time that you would never have.
Right.
You might have different time, but not this time.
Yeah.
Right. And I think oftentimes this is what we forget.
Yeah.
It's like, you want to do jiu-jitsu? Go and do jiu-jitsu. Yeah. Find an academy, find a place, find instructors that will serve what you need. And just go and do it. Life is way too short. In my opinion, at least. It's like, maybe it's because, I'm in the second half. And I'm realizing that, as life goes on, we do stupid things and we waste time. Yeah. Like, I try not to live with regrets, but there are things in life that I wish I have done when I was younger. They were just stupid choices, but hopefully we get some time left. So
and so make the most of it. Do those things. Go those places. Try that new sport or whatever it is. Because like you said, regrets. You will always regret the things you didn't do. When you look back, because there will be a time when I am too old to skateboard. Your balance leaves you. That was a big struggle for me. It was like, wait a minute, I used to get on this thing and balance, and now I have to work just at standing on it, just standing there, not going down the street, not carving that corner. It's harder. It is much harder nowadays. If I waited another 10 years, never would. It probably wouldn't have happened.
Yeah.
So take when it's out in front of you, grab it. I guess don't be afraid. Just go out there and get it.
I know there's this great phrase. I think it's from Chinese smart person, but it's like I've known it for years. I don't know who said it. I should look it up. It's like it goes something along the lines of, the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is today.
Sure. Yep.
And as cliche, as stupid as it is, I think it's perfectly fitting into this conversation. And you listening to this, you wondering, and you trying. Stop trying. Just do it. It's you won't regret it. I'm pretty confident that some of these choices that we make, they have positive impacts on our life. And oftentimes, just like you said, we regret things we didn't do. And the things that we do, set us on a path for our future. So yeah. What? Yeah. This is a hard one. What's a big thing that you skipped and you wish you didn't from your younger years? I'll put you on the spot.
Yeah. Geez, I don't know. I mean, there's a lot, because I was afraid.
because I would have had to have done it on my own. Like there wasn't a crew of people doing it as well. I would, honestly, I think, well, from childhood, it's definitely like skating for sure, 100% from that. From being older, it's travel, not traveling, making up excuses. I did it just a week or two ago, making up an excuse for us not to go on vacation this year. That's all. What are we gonna? We can't because of the dog. We can't go. I'm sure I could figure it out. You want to watch my dog?
I'll watch the dog.
I am not sending my dog to your house.
You have bigger problems to worry when the dog comes to my house.
Yeah.
But
No. But so it's like just here I am making an excuse to not take the family somewhere because I don't know what to do with the dog. There's people that'll watch it. I could board it. It's gonna suck for him. I'll feel bad for him being boarded for a week. But at the same time, my kids don't get to go to spring training. My kids don't get to go. I gotta figure that shit out. Right?
Yeah.
Stop making excuses.
yeah,
So,
I agree. I hope you go. I hope you do.
Okay.
hope you do.
I need the week of the 26th through of the 31st off
Sure.
in March.
Okay.
All right. Then.
Bye.
Bye. All right. Are we done?
Good talk.
All right. I'll see you later.
Later.
Thank you for listening to Raw Radio. If you enjoyed the show, don't forget to leave us a review and help us make the show even more amazing. For future episodes, check out our website and follow us on all major podcast platforms. Take care.